Hello students, welcome back to our next class. In our previous class, we have studied about the control charts. In that control charts, we have already constructed the control charts for the variables. Under that, the mean chart is finished. So the next one is construction of control charts for range. So what is the range? Range means the difference between the maximum and the minimum values. So same like our mean chart, the procedure will be same. Instead of the sample mean, here we will be using the sample range. So first step is same. First we will consider a population in which there are k samples. A population related to the production process where the quality is measurable will be considered. So suppose I'll show a sample of the population. Totally k samples. Whole population is divided into k samples. So you write down k samples and the observations in the each sample will be n observations. For every sample we will be having n number of observations. Suppose x11 is the first observation, next is x12 is the second observation, so on like that up to we will have x1n. So total in the first sample we will have n observations. Suppose next in the second sample, that is x21, x22, so on x2n. So these are the observations of the second sample. Similarly, if you consider the ith sample, the observations will be xi1, xi2, so on xin. So these are the observations of ith sample. Then the last sample, that is the kth sample. The observations are xk1, xk2, so on xkn. So these are the observations of different k samples of a population of production process. So in our previous chart, that is mean chart, we have calculated the sample mean, and for that, to estimate the parameters, we have also calculated the sample range and sample standard deviation also. But for range chart, only the sample range is sufficient. So here we are not going to estimate any parameters, only the sigma value is enough, and sigma can be obtained by using the sample range also. So that's why we will be finding only the sample range values. So these sample ranges are denoted with R. For the first sample, the range is given as R1. For the second sample, the range is given as R2. So on like that. For the ith sample, the range is Ri. Similarly, for the last sample, the range is Rk. So for total k samples, we will find the sample range. So what is the range formula? Range is maximum minus minimum value. That is maximum of xij minus minimum of xij gives the range of ith sample. The range of ith sample is given as maximum of xij minus minimum of xij. Suppose if you are considering the first sample. For the first sample, the range is denoted as R1 and it is given as maximum of x1j minus minimum of x2j. Similarly, if I consider second sample, I will get R2 equals to maximum of x2j minus minimum of x2j. So total we have k samples. For the kth sample, we will get the last range as Rk equals to maximum of xkj minus minimum of xkj. So this is the sample range. So after finding the sample range, the next step is we need to find the R bar value. What is the R bar? That is the mean of sample ranges. How will you find the mean? Sum of the observations by number of observations. That means you will add all the sample ranges, that is R1 plus R2 plus so on up to Rk. You have total k samples, so you will add all the sample ranges up to Rk divided by what are the total number of observations? Total number of samples is k, so you will divide with k. This is the mean of range, that is R bar value, which can be written as R bar equals to summation. I am writing in terms of summation. Summation I equals to 1 to k. So total k samples, summation I equals to 1 to k, Ri by k. So simply R bar can be written as summation I equals to 1 to k, Ri by k. So this is the sample range. So after finding the sample ranges and the mean for sample ranges, we start constructing the control limits. Now construction of control limits. So the general formula of control limits is expectation of t plus or minus 3 into standard error of t. So here t means the statistic. What is the statistic we are considering here? The range, that is R. So that the 3 sigma control limits for range chart. So the 3 sigma control limits for range chart are given as expectation of R plus or minus 3 into standard error of R. So this is the 3 sigma control limits. Now we will substitute the expectation of R values and the standard error of R values. So the 3 sigma control limits are expectation of R plus or minus 3 into standard error of R. And yesterday also we have seen we have took the sample standard deviation, the sampling distribution. So from the sampling distribution, of range yesterday while estimating the sigma value, we have used this one. From the sampling distribution of a range, we took the value of expectation of R. Expectation of R value is D2 sigma. This one already we have used. Now we want standard error of sigma, standard error of R also. So the standard error of R is D3 sigma. So these are the values of expectation of R and standard error of R, which can be obtained from the sampling distribution of range. So substitute the expectation of R value and the standard error of R value in the 3 sigma control limits. So the 3 sigma control limits are substitute the values. What is the expectation of R value? D2 sigma plus or minus 3 into standard error of R is D3 sigma. So from these two terms you can take sigma common, so that you will get D2 sigma plus or minus 3 into D3. Sorry, if you take common sigma you will get D2 plus or minus 3 into D3 sigma. So these are the general control limits for the R chart. So in any chart, I said we will have two cases. The case one is when the standards are specified. When standards are specified. So here what are the parameters we have in the 3 sigma limits? Only the sigma. If the sigma value is already given in the question, we no need to estimate it. So then the 3 sigma control limits are given as what will be the UCL value? UCL of R equals to D2 plus 3 into D3 into sigma. Already sigma value is a known value, so no need to estimate it. So this is the UCL value. Now I am considering this D2 plus 3 into D3 as D2. So this is D2 into sigma, since D2 equals to capital D2 equals to small d2 plus 3 into D3. So this is the UCL of range chart when the standards are known. Next, what is the CL? CL equals to same expectation of R, that is equals to D2 sigma. So D2 value we can know from the table values, or you can write R bar also. Next, LCL. So LCL of R chart is, in place of plus you will get minus, that is D2 minus D2 minus 3 into D3 into sigma. So this D2 minus 3 into D3 can be written as capital D1. So the LCL becomes LCL of R equals to capital D1 sigma, where D1 equals to small d2 minus 3 into D3. So what is the UCL here we got? D2 sigma, and the CL is small d2 sigma, or you can write R bar, or LCL equals to capital D1 sigma. The values of D1, D2 and small d2 can be obtained from the SQC tables for the different values of n. So depending on your n value, you will be getting the values of capital D1, capital D2 and small d2. So this is the case 1 when the standards are specified. So now we will see the case 2. So we have studied the control limits were for case 1. Now we will study the case 2 where the standards are unknown. Where the standards are unknown. So what are all the standards we have in this chart? Only the sigma value. So we need to estimate the sigma value. So this sigma value can be estimated by using the sampling distribution of R. So by using the sampling distribution of sample range, by using the sampling distribution of the range, so we know that expectation of range equals to D2 sigma. So from this value we can estimate the sigma value. Expectation of R. So expectation of any value is the average of that value. So average means the mean value. So in place of expectation of R, we can write R bar equals to D2 sigma. Now how to estimate the sigma value? Sigma hat equals to R bar by D2. So this is the estimated value for sigma. So this sigma we can use in the control limits. So what are the 3 sigma control limits? The 3 sigma control limits R. So what is the formula for 3 sigma control limits? Expectation of R plus or minus 3 into standard error of R. So what is the expectation of R means? It is R bar plus or minus 3 into standard error of, what is the standard error value? D3 sigma. So now we have estimated this sigma value. What is the sigma value we have estimated? R bar plus or minus 3 into D3. What is the sigma value? R bar by D2. So substitute this sigma value here. You will get R bar by D2. Now from these two terms you can take out R bar common, so that you will get 1 plus or minus 3D3 by D2 into R bar. So these are the general control limits for the case 2. Now we will see the UCL and LCL values. So what is the UCL? If you consider the plus sign, you will get the UCL. If you consider the minus sign, you will be getting the LCL value. So first consider UCL value. UCL equals to 1 plus 3D3 by D2 into R bar. So I am considering this 1 plus T33 by D2 as capital D4. So my UCL value will become UCL of R equals to capital D4 into R bar. Next CL equals to expectation of R. So expectation of R means it is a mean value, that is R bar. Next LCL. So LCL of R chart is, in place of plus you will consider minus, that is 1 plus 3 into D3 by D2 into R bar. Now here we have considered, if you have plus, you have considered this value as D4. Now I am considering 1 minus 3D3 by D2 as D3. So you will get D3 into R bar, where D3 equals to 1 minus 3D3 by D2. So here what is the D4 value? 1 plus 3D3 by D2. So these are the control limits for the case 2. So the values of capital D4 and D3 can be obtained from the SQC tables for the different values of n. So this is setting of the control limits. After setting the control limits, we need to draw the control charts. So we have set the control limits. We got the values of UCL, CL and LCL. UCL means the upper control limit, CS is a central line and LCL is the lower control limits. Now all these values we need to plot on a graph. So how will you draw the graph? You will have the two axes, x-axis and y-axis. On the xy plane you have to plot these values. First on the x-axis you will write the sample number. So how many samples you have? You will write that many numbers. On the y-axis I will be writing the units. Here I am considering the sample range. We are constructing the chart for range. So on the x-axis I have to take the values of sample range. So on the sample range also you need to write the numbers, units. So depending on your UCL and LCL values, you write the units on the x-axis and the y-axis. So after writing the axis, you draw the UCL and LCL lines first. So the UCL line should be always a dotted line. So after drawing the UCL line, you need to specify here UCL of R. Next, the CL. CL is a dark horizontal line. You need to draw a dark line and represent here CL of R. Next, will be drawing the LCL value. So LCL is also a dotted line. LCL is also a dotted line. You draw a dotted line for LCL and write here LCL of range, that is LCL R. So after drawing these three lines, you need to plot the sample range values. Sample range means in our population we have find the values of R1, R2, R3, R4, all the RK values. For the K samples we have find the sample range, right? R1, R2, R3, so on up to RK. So all that K values should be plotted on this XY plane. For first sample you will get one value, for the second sample another value. You keep plotting all the K sample range values. So after plotting the values, join those values so to obtain a curve. So this is the control chart for range chart. So now we need to interpret it by seeing the graph. So how we will interpret? This is the same procedure how we have interpreted for the X bar chart. Here also we are going to interpret it by using this graph only. So here if you observe, all the values are within the control limits. That is, no value is going outside the UCL or no value is coming below the LCL. All the sample range values are within the UCL and LCL. UCL and LCL, they are in between UCL and LCL. So this is said to be, this process is said to be under statistical control. Process is under statistical control. So for range chart, there is a possibility of getting another graph, that is, if your n value is less than 7, for the n values less than 7, the values of D3 and D1 will be 0. So that's why the LCL, what is the formula for LCL? For first case you got D1 into sigma. In the second case we got LCL equals to D3 sigma. So this D1 and D3 values will be 0 for the sample value less than 7. If in your sample you have the values less than 7, then automatically the LCL value will be 0, or in some cases you may get LCL. So in these cases you will get LCL is 0, and there are some cases if you get LCL is negative, then you will consider the x-axis as the LCL. So there I will show that graph also. So represent sample number on x-axis. And the sample range on the y-axis. So similarly, like this only, we will get the UCL, that is the dotted line, that is the UCL, and the straight dark horizontal line is CL. And suppose if LCL equals to 0 or if LCL is negative, so in these two cases we will take this x-axis as your LCL. So this will be your x-axis will be your LCL, and the UCL will be, you will be getting it, and CL is the dark horizontal line. Now plot the sample range values. Suppose if any value so join all the sample range values. So if you observe here, one value is above the UCL and one value is below the UCL. So how to interpret this one? Whatever the values you got above the UCL and below the UCL, they are called the outliers. So whatever the sample values you got above or below your warning limits, which are not under your warning limits, they are called the outliers. Then this process is said to be not in control. Process is not under statistical control. So these are the two cases where you get the different graphs. Here, if your n value is greater than or equals to 7, then you will get the LCL value. If your n value is less than 7, then the values of D1 and D3 will be equal to 0. That's why you will get the LCL as your x-axis. You will consider your x-axis as your LCL value. And even if you have any negative value for LCL, then also you will consider x-axis as your LCL. So this is range chart. So in range chart, what we will do? There are totally 4 steps, right? The first step is you need to find the sample range. You will find the sample range and R bar values. You will find the sample range and the mean of sample ranges. The second one is setting of control limits. The second step is setting of control limits. In this, you will have two cases. The first one is when sigma is known. That is, if sigma is already given in the question, that will be your first case. In first case, you will get the different UCL, LCL and CL values. And in case 2, where sigma is unknown. That is, the standards are not specified. In the second case also, you will get the different control limits. So in this second case, we will estimate sigma by using the sampling distribution of sample range as sigma hat equals to R bar by D2. Next, the third step is construction of control chart. Construction of control charts. So by taking the sample observations on x-axis and the sample range on y, we will be constructing our chart. UCL and LCL are the dotted lines and the CL is a dark line. If n value is less than 7, the LCL will be 0, and even if the LCL is negative, the LCL will be considered as the x-axis only. And at the last, we will do the interpretation. So by seeing the control charts, you will be interpreting the process, whether that process is under control or not. If all the sample range values are within the UCL and LCL, then the process is said to be under control. If any value goes above the UCL or below the LCL, then that process is said to be not under statistical control. So this is all about range chart. It is very similar to our mean chart also. So in our next class, we are going to study about the third chart, that is the sigma chart or the standard deviation chart.